So just focusing on that, all right? We don't need the y-intercept. All we need to know is the x-intercept. So factorize it to find the x-intercept. Okay? And from here, if I make it equal to 0, don't worry about the inequality sign for now. That's equal to 0. Yeah, that's right. So I'm going to plot it. And is it concave up or down parabola? Up, yeah, because it's plus x squared. So it goes to 0. It goes through minus 3. Okay, so let's just say that's step number 1. Now, step number 2. Now, the question now says that is that less than 0 or bigger than 0? Less than 0. So if it's less than 0, girls, in this part of the graph, you need to look at below the x-axis part of the graph. Because what that means is this whole graph is below 0. Below y equals to 0. This is the y equals to 0 line right here, that x-axis, yeah? So when they say less than 0, it means look at the graph below the x-axis. See how it doesn't have equal sign? Yeah? If it does not have that, it means, I'm just going to draw an open circle here because that means it does not include the x-intercepts. The question really is, what are all these x values? How do you describe it? Tell me in the words. So basically, all the x values between minus 3 and 0, but not including minus 3 and 0, right? That's it. This is your final answer. This is what I just said verbally. X is in between minus 3 and 0, but notice I don't have the equal sign because it does not include minus 3 and 0. When you put x in between two values, that means it's in between those two values. Yep? All I'm concerned is this. Why? We're only concerned with x values. That's the question. Okay, now let's apply this now. I've just done step number 1. Step number 2. If that whole thing is bigger or equal to 0, that means you're looking at above the x-axis part of the graph. Okay, including that point because it's got the equal sign. All right. So let's have a look over here. Verbally, here, starting from x equals to 2 over 3, it can take every single x values going that way. Yep? So all the x values less than 2 over 3 describes this part of the graph. Does that make sense? X is less than 2 over 3, but also equal to 2 over 3 because it includes that value. Does that make sense? Because these are values like minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So these are all the x values less than 2 over 3. Whereas here, girls, all the x values above 1 in inequality sign is x is bigger than or equal to 1. That's your answer. Take the negative out. Plus 13b minus 6. Remember the swap signs. Now let's try and see if I can factorize that. So let's just say that's the graph. Right? Step number 1, I've drawn it. Step number 2, the whole thing or the graph is less than 0. If it's less than 0, see below x-axis. Yep? Okay, not including these points because obviously there's no equal sign. Yeah? So on this side, girls, all the x values are, is it greater or less than minus 3? Less than, because you've got minus 4, minus 5, and so on. So as inequality, that's x is less than, or yeah, smaller than minus 3. Yeah? Here, from 2 over 5, all the x values are bigger than 2 over 5. So we write x is bigger than 2 over 5. Alright? That's your answer. Get it?